So, and like what you're talking about is giving away content just for free without gating it, right? To use that kind of jargony term, that you can make content available in exchange for an email address or some other information, or you can just put it out there and give it away. Now, clearly, you're talking about just putting it out there, giving it away, at least most of the time, right? And so,
Yes, yeah.
and so, talk more about like what's the value in doing that? And I ask because I think the reasons for gating are kind of obvious. You know, you get something in exchange. You build up your email list that way. It's common practice. You know, nothing wrong with it. And I think most people are like, you know, okay, if you really want it, you'll give your email address. But why give it away? Like, are you not kind of missing out on an opportunity to get email addresses?
The idea of missing out on that FOMO of email addresses is something that I talk about all the time with my team and even with some of the contractors that we have supporting us, where they're like, you need to this content. You need to gate this content. Sorry, excuse me. So gate the content because you are missing an opportunity for a currency exchange in the form of an email address, which is really what we're trying to do, right? Like at that point, your email address as a lead is our currency we're dealing in. And I challenge that assumption and say, let's push that idea back closer to the actual point of currency in the form of dollars exchange, where the email address as a currency exchange happens when you go into the product, not when you come into the content I'm using to build value, trust, buy-in, belief, all of those outcomes and desirable sort of interactions between a brand and a prospect. And, you know, the more that people interact with our content, the better it is for us because we're constantly going to be back of mind. We're constantly, when you think of X, you're going to think of Y brand. And I think that is kind of the utopia that all of us as marketers are striving towards is how can we build that when I think adhesive Band-Aid, I think, or bandage, I think Band-Aid, right? Like that is amazing. And that is really the outcome we're striving for. Now, of course, gating has a time and a place. Absolutely. If content is your currency and is your product, you have to gate your content because people have to pay you for it. That is not the case in most like B2B SaaS toolings. You're not really paying for content. You might be giving away courses, of which, of course, I always say, like, if you're educating people, one of the best ways for people to believe that you're going to educate them is to educate them for free. And it's that sort of like, you know, tug and pull between what's for free and what's not for free. It's just the whole idea of like when someone's about to release a book and they're marketing the book, they give away a chapter for free because then you're hooked. And you've gotten the free sort of like taste of what you're going to get when you pay for it, you know, but we do have some gates. There are some gates that we have. I can't have a webinar without asking for people's email addresses and then send them the information to join it. If you're going to download an ebook, there's going to be some sort of action that I'm going to probably ask you to take. And the gate does not always have to be an email address. It can be hey, let me ask you a question. Are you reading this content because you want to learn this, this, or this? And then we can use that data point to help us understand what value is maybe missing that we don't have. And so we can actually ask for additional data points to help guide our content strategy as a gate. And so, you know, when we go back to this idea of value, which is where we kind of start this whole conversation, there's a gate associated with perceived value, and there's a gate associated with realized value. And making sure that the gate is at the point of realized value is extremely important because as soon as you put that gate up and it's not at realized value, people are going to bounce out and they're not going to give you anything. And you also haven't had the opportunity to build that relationship.